This is Kevin F. Pope with the Pope's Perspective, here to talk about my favorite films of 2017. Now, this is a top 5 list because I didn't get around to seeing as many movies as I would have liked in 2017, so we're going to go with the top 5. Number 5, Lego Batman. Now, Batman's a character that's been around for multiple generations. Everybody knows who Batman is. Your dad knows who Batman is. Your grandpa knows who Batman is. Maybe even your dad's grandpa knows who Batman is. So, with Lego Batman, it's like delving into Batman, but we get a new take on Batman without having to, it's like, hey, wait a minute, you're not being truthful to who Batman is. No, it's like, this is a different world. This is the Lego world, and this is Batman in the Lego world. And this movie is just a lot of fun, and it actually plays around with how many different versions of Batman we've seen, and it's just fun. I know, I keep on saying it, but that's the truth of this. This is a fun Batman movie, and maybe I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, maybe I won't, but in all honesty, this may well be my favorite Batman movie. Number 4, Coco. This is Pixar in the afterlife. Actually, this is Pixar's take on the afterlife. More specifically, the Day of the Dead. Pixar just delved in there into this story about this kid that wants to play music. But his family doesn't want him to play music. Where does this take him? It takes him to the afterlife. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but at the same time, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's Pixar at its best. The world they've created with the afterlife. Pixar knows how to create a world, and this film is no exception. Number 3, Wonder. The tale of a boy who doesn't look like everybody else. He's going to school for the first time, and he knows that people are going to stare. He expects this. I mean, he's dealt with it his whole life. So he knows to expect that sort of thing. And a lot of it is him trying to adjust, and just that the way kids are cruel, and some kids are nicer than others. But what's really great about this film is it not only gives you Augie, that's the main character, short for August, you get other characters' point of view and seeing how them knowing Augie has affected them and their side. And you get Augie's family, Augie's friends, other kids in school, even his sister's former best friend. You learn about her and how Augie has affected her, and that's what I really love about this film. And it has a really great message for not just children, but also adults. Number 2, The Man Who Invented Christmas. Dan Stevens is great as Charles Dickens as he goes about creating the quintessential Christmas tale that is A Christmas Carol. We get to literally see the characters come to life before our eyes, and start to finish, I loved this film. It has a lot of heart. It has a lot of great characters, both Charles Dickens' fictional characters that he created, but the characters, the real people around Charles Dickens. And that's actually part of the fun. We get to see some people that are like, oh, so he became the ghost of Christmas present, or things like that. This is a fun film, and I love it. And the number 1 film on my list, Dunkirk. This film was an immersive experience. I mean, seeing this in IMAX, which is a real shame that people will not get to see this in the way it should be experienced in IMAX, was just wow. I mean, you feel like you're there with this story of, you got the soldiers trying to evacuate and getting out of Dunkirk during World War II, and the Germans constantly attacking. I mean, this is like, they're at the most vulnerable place. They're like in the most vulnerable position, and the Germans are attacking. And I was just thinking, like, I know this is a war, but this is terrible. This is terrible. These people are, they can't defend themselves in these positions, and this is just, it gives you that perspective, and just like, wow. And it makes you think. And then, of course, you also have the side of the tale where all of these local British citizens came in, not soldiers, citizens. They came in with their personal boats or yachts or whatever they had to get these soldiers out of Dunkirk. And throughout this whole film, there's really not any time to just sit and like every time where you think it's just like, okay, now everything's gonna be good, everything's gonna be all right, and then just more comes. They keep on coming at them, but it gives you that realistic viewpoint of like, yeah, did they really have a lot of time where they would just stop and think, or like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to my buddy right now, like, this is a war and this is what happened. But it's reasons like that I really enjoyed this movie, and I kept on going back to it and thinking about it every time I'd see another movie. I'm like, yeah, that movie was good. It wasn't as good as Dunkirk, and there's a reason why Dunkirk is my favorite film of the year, and this film is gonna stick with me. So those are my favorite films of 2017, and that's...
Ever loved a movie that's underappreciated?
Huh?
Overlooked?
Who said that?
Often looked down on as something that isn't worth seeing?
Where's that voice coming from?
Well, have no fear, because the Film Avenger is here. The Film Avenger stands for films that deserve the right to be known, that deserve the right to be understood, and he will avenge them.
Who are you? I'm your new segment. The Film Avenger? Yeah. Didn't you hear my introduction? It was a little weak. You think you can come up with something better? Oh, I'll think of something. So, which film do you want to tackle first? We're not going to end up reviewing a lot of crappy movies, are we? That all depends on your perspective. I'm all about perspective. Well, my perspective is a film should be deemed worthy to be avenged. I can live with that. So which film do you want to start with? Paddington. Paddington? Are you sure that film needs avenged? I mean, they just came out with a sequel. I know, but I still think the film deserves more attention. I don't know if I have enough evidence to avenge Paddington. Excuse me, perhaps I could be of some assistance. You see, many of the people I've encountered who do not like Paddington, oftentimes they do not know why they do not like Paddington. While I cannot say why they do not like Paddington, I can say why I like Paddington. That seems fair. Where did you come from? Oh, I think you know the answer to that one. All right. I guess we're reviewing Paddington.